5 and welcome to Thursday's reading lesson with me, Miss Medlicott. In today's lesson we are carrying on with our story, The Explorer by Katherine Rundell. If you need to go and retrieve your copy of the book, please pause the video now to do so. Right, so our learning objectives for today's session, we're going to be reading and summarising the events in chapter 28, which is called Waiting for Dawn. We're going to be inferring characters' thoughts, feelings and motives. And we're also going to be exploring the impact of illustrations in conveying meaning. So what I would like you to do, please, Year 5, is turn to pages 366 and 367 in your storybook. So pause the video now to find your place. Right, now you'll see that the chapter starts on this double page. I want you to think about why the pages are illustrated in the way that they are. How does it make you feel? How does it help to tell the story? Now the clue I've put up for Dawn is actually a woman's name as well, but Dawn in this case means the rising of the sun, so that's why I've put this illustration here to help you, and also we can possibly see the sun rising in this particular illustration. So, pause the video now to write down your answers to these questions. Okay, so why do we think the pages have been set out in this way? It's this sense of it still being nighttime. You're waiting for dawn means you're still waiting for the sun to rise, so therefore it's still dark. Makes us feel perhaps a bit nervous, a bit full of tension, trepidation, thinking what's going to happen next. Right then, so the sentence opener on page 366. It says that Lila sat with Max's head in her lap as she tossed and moaned. Bacca rested on the boy's stomach, breathing softly into his skin. Lila's eyes were red, and she'd bitten her lip so many times it was bleeding. As the evening started to grow blue, Fred could feel his nerves begin to crackle with terror. Okay, so that's just the opening to the chapter. Why do you think the sentence opener, as the evening started to grow blue, what do we think that means? Why do you think the author has made this choice? Why the colour blue? So think about the situation. We're waiting for dawn to arrive. It's still darkness, as the illustrations suggest. And we have this sentence opener, as the evening started to grow blue. I'd like you to consider why Katherine Rundell has made this particular choice. Pause the video now to have a go at answering the question. Right, so it might be that it's adding some tension to the story, the sense of blue. And in the picture here, you can see the moonlight casting a kind of bluish light, sort of trick of the light. It's quite a striking image, a very memorable image. So it might be for those reasons that the author has made that choice. Right, so we carry on with the story. We've heard that the explorer does not want to fly the plane, that he, as we know, has a wounded leg, and he says to the children that because of his wounded leg, he won't be able to pilot the plane himself. You need two good legs working to be able to fly properly. Page 369. Pause the video now to find your place. Fred, listen to me. Even if I could fly Max myself, it would mean I'd never get back here. They would recognise me and they would recognise the plane. There would be questions and interviews and newspapers. Why doesn't the explorer want to fly the plane himself? Why is he afraid of the plane being recognised? So I'd like you now to mind map your ideas. Why is he afraid of those questions, interviews and newspapers? Pause the video now to write down your ideas. Okay. We're starting now to piece together some ideas as to who the explorer might be. Is he one of the famous explorers that went missing, Percy Fawcett or Christopher McLaren, for example? He's certainly scared that he's going to be recognised, so clearly he would be well known enough. And he's worried, isn't he, that it would mean that I'd never get back here to the rainforest, to the jungle, which he now claims as his home. So, those are the possible reasons that he's afraid of the plane being recognised. He doesn't want to be recognised himself. He doesn't want to have to answer questions and interviews as to where he's been. Right then, I'd like you now, as your task, to imagine that you're going to interview the explorer. What would you most like to find out about him and his situation? Would you ask about his family? Create a list of questions. So this is very much an open task for you to think of as many questions as you'd like to find out about the explorer. You're creating a list. Try to be quite creative with your questions and to think carefully about what we do know about the explorer and what we're left wondering about. Starting possibly with his name. What is his name? We don't know it for sure. We can make some guesses, but we don't know for certain. So pause the video now to write your list of questions. Remember, which punctuation do we need at the end of a question? Good, it's a question mark, as I'm pointing to here. So pause the video now to write a list of questions. Right, lots of things I'm sure that you'd like to find out about this character. Maybe you'd like to find out about his name. What was his mission to come to the rainforest? Why did he decide to stay in the rainforest? What happened to his leg? Does he like the children? Does he want them to get home? What was his little boy like? What was his wife like? How does he know so much about surviving in the rainforest? All of those are possible questions you might have asked, and hopefully you've thought of some of your own too. Right then, Year 5, very well done for your work in today's lesson. In tomorrow's session, we are going to be looking at the next chapter in the story, which is called Flight Home. I'll see you all next time. Bye.